All right. Welcome to the Redemption Podcast, Tales of a Virgin, a Playboy, and a Stripper.
My name is Monique DeLeon.
I am Matthew.
And I am Donovan. No, I'm Donovan.
These are the conversations you've always wanted to have, but you were either too scared or didn't know how to start.
You will hear, what are we talking about again? Oh yeah, we're going to be sharing the forbidden with freedom, right? Yeah, 3 different perspectives, 3 different paths, but the same good God.
So join us as we dive right into today's topic of dating in the 21st century. Dating. Everything that comes along with it.
Dating or courting?
Oh.
Well, before you can court, you got to date, right? I think courting is almost like engagement, no?
Court is like an athletic term. I feel that's where all the games are played. I'm just kidding.
It's the same thing.
Is it the same? Like
It's
if
essentially
I'm
the
courting
same.
somebody, I was
You're
like,
dating them.
I want that. That's gonna be my boo.
Are those
Well,
different
courting is
culturally?
because it's more serious in the sense of if you're courting someone, you're not courting multiple people. But if you are dating someone and nothing is established, then you could be dating 2 or 3 people.
Monique be dropping them nuggets. Homie, that makes sense though.
So that's
how many
the
Courting
difference.
is, so by default, courting is exclusive.
Okay.
Yes. Even though you're not necessarily maybe boyfriend and girlfriend yet, so to speak, in the sense
Now I'm
of
confused.
I'm very
in a
confused.
relationship, it's like there's just an individual that you're interested in and you're going to take time to get to know this person.
Okay.
But when you're dating, you could be dating 2 or 3 people because you're getting to know them all at the same time.
Got you.
So courting is more specific if you want to look at it
Wow.
like that.
So I guess I gotta have some conversations with someone I'm talking. Like, are we courting? Like, I got.
But it's
Are
that's
you
what I'm saying.
dating
It's not
other
even
people?
a term. Yeah, as I'm saying, it's
Monique.
basically dating.
Do you multi-date?
Yes, I do.
Wow, no hesitation
No,
either.
and I'm honest.
If you just asked me 2 + 2, I'd have to think about it. If she
1,
no 2 + 2, okay, yeah.
A
But
virgin and a multi-dater.
Here's the thing, though.
Wow.
With my dating and definition of
Here
dating,
we
I
go.
think I see it different and go about it differently than other people. If I'm just dating someone and we're not like committed to each other, I'm not kissing you. We're not making out or anything like that. I'm not even talking future with
So
you
that's dating.
Oh.
because this is me getting to know you. So we
Okay.
can hang out. And I'll make you aware that, yeah, I am talking to other men as well.
How many
So-
people are you currently dating?
7. 7.
8.
Whatever. 2.
It's down to 1.
I love this, man. I love
It's
this.
down to
Oh,
1.
he's listening?
It's down to 1.
None. One guy's like, that's fine. I'll take what I can get.
Please.
Is it me? Wait a minute. They might don't even know.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I ain't gonna say
Okay.
Wait, so I have okay. I just want to make sure that we're clear on this because
Okay.
I'm maybe I'm not clear on this.
Okay.
So, courting is you've met somebody and you're getting to know them. Okay.
Mhm.
Dating is your. Is that-
It's courting is the term that the church and Christians have adopted because within that it's same thing. It's like you're not being physical with this person because you're getting to know this individual. So that's kind of where that comes in, and it's one individual because you're specifically trying to get to know this individual to see if this is somewhere that you want to go further with this individual, to a relationship, to marriage. So, but when you're dating, it's just more of loose, more open, I guess you could say.
so it goes
Wow.
dating then courting, not courting then dating. Just to make sure.
I mean, see, I feel like, so I will be dating or talking to multiple men, but I think I still have like the courting within it because I'm not physical.
The mentality.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you say you're not physical. You talking about being
Kissing.
platonic?
No.
Is non-kissing mean, does that mean platonic?
No, because I still have an attraction physically or even emotionally,
So
mentally to them.
So platonic means you're not attracted to them.
No, platonic would be more,
I thought that's your friend, right?
yeah, but that's in regards to friendships.
Oh, please explain.
So the question is it possible to have a platonic relationship with someone of the opposite sex? A lot of people say no. I say yes. It's very possible.
Platonic meaning
That there's nothing going
There's
on
no
between the two.
Yeah, there's no.
There's not
attraction.
not attraction.
so pretty much all your past relationships. Because you said in the previous podcast that you had no
No.
physical attraction.
No.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
No.
That's what you said. You said you just felt safe.
No.
You feel safe with me? You feel
That's
safe
not-
with Matt?
Well, yes, I would. Both of you, obviously. But no. But what I'm saying is platonic is because people think that if you hang out with someone with the opposite sex,
Yeah.
that something's going to happen.
Yes.
But if
That's
it's,
what people think.
it's an established
We've already talked
friendship.
about this.
No. But what I'm saying is people
Mm.
don't think that you can be friends with someone of the opposite sex
Yeah.
and nothing going on. And they say, okay, well, are you physically attracted to that person?
Mhm.
Because they're saying if there's a physical attraction on one side or both sides, that's not possible. Just to still be their
So
friend.
I'm gonna tell our listeners now. If you haven't listened, please listen to our second podcast where we discussed the fact that once this podcast blows up and people are requesting us to go places, that they're going to actually have to get us not only a plane ticket but 3 separate rooms, because Monique said there's no way she's sharing a room with 2 guys,
No.
even though it's platonic, because she doesn't
is
find us
platonic.
physically attractive. Though she does
I do.
feel safe around us, which means she might have a crush on us. So I'm trying.
I do. See, here's the thing. Obviously, I find both of you physically attractive. Okay. But I have no desire for you in that way. And that's the difference. And I think people,
Were you
whether
offended
they-
by that, Matt?
Huh?
It was real sweet the way she said that. I wasn't offended. Were you offended?
I wasn't offended, no.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm attractive.
That's what I said. You guys are. But I just don't have a desire for you in a romantic way.
That's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So-
We're attractive and you feel safe with us, but I told you.
Well,
might have the
one,
gift.
I know, because I know it's like at the same time when you meet someone, it's like you know whether or not this is the person God's called you to.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So
gotcha.
in my that too in my mind, that's
Okay.
what it's like. I already know that's not where it is.
Got
so
you.
that's
Okay.
why. But platonic relationships,
Mhm.
I say yes, they are possible, but a lot of people think no.
Matt, is it possible for a guy and a girl to just be friends?
I think just so long as they're honest with one another, I think it's totally possible and viable. But often in friendship, particularly also the way you meet that individual,
Okay.
right? And
Okay.
the time that you meet that individual. Did you meet him in a place where you were in the right frame of mind, or did you meet him at a club and you guys previously kissed, but you like no, but we could be friends.
Mm.
So as long as you both
Wow.
are honest with one another and say, hey, listen, we're friends. This is cool. We'll remain platonic. I have no attraction to you. You have no attraction to me.
Right.
But often people get in trouble.
Mhm.
Get in trouble
Yeah.
because this is what happens. They met at some point in time. There was an attraction,
Mm.
okay, on either both fronts or one or the other, okay. Something may have happened. They've engaged in some type of sexual activity. I'm not saying it was sex, but some
Mhm.
type of sexual activity. Time passed. They backpedaled. They recouped. Now they're friends,
Mhm.
and one person possibly has expectations where the other one doesn't. And that's where it gets tricky. It gets very tricky with those platonic relationships, because is that truly platonic?
So I
No.
was thinking that platonic means that although you do have feelings, you fight those feelings. You don't act on those feelings. I thought that was platonic. I didn't know platonic meant that those feelings or those chemistry doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And so what Matt is saying, like, you meet under certain circumstances, you engage in a physical activity that wasn't fun, and then you get friend zoned.
That's basically what Matt's saying. But I mean, did you ever have like a friend in high school or something that was a girl that you just enjoyed hanging out with her, but you weren't attracted to her? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, is someone in class that
Yeah, okay. I had to think hard because women are beautiful, but yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
there was no desire for her in that kind of a
Yeah, I
way.
mean, we all had a Betty.
So that's
She was
okay.
nice.
So are you saying I can't have a platonic relationship with my ex?
That's tough.
That's
I can have a pure relationship with my ex. I just can't have a platonic one.
Oh, this brings up a good topic.
well, I mean, okay, now that's going to depend on her as well,
Yep.
not just you. So
Okay.
that's just it. So you may be okay in saying
Okay.
that, but it's not only you.
Okay.
So
So,
Here we go. Matt and his questions.
no, it's just a good topic, right?
All right, let's go for it.
Talking about platonic relationships.
Mhm.
All right. So, is it possible for people that have been previously married to be in a platonic relationship with each other once they have already been married to one another?
I've seen it happen.
You just said platonic means that there is no
No, no.
chemistry there. No.
So
Anymore.
yeah, anymore.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. Anymore.
So that means I could have a platonic
And there's-
relationship with my ex.
But I'm saying, but she may not with you. That's what I'm saying. It's going to depend on the individual, and that's where Matt says.
So it has to be mutual.
that you're, because
Yes.
it's no longer, because if she still has this desire for you, that's
So-
not platonic.
So like most of the guys, So the situation is that it's platonic for you, but for them, you're their crush. They're crushing on you, and you're platonic with them.
One is the lowliest number that you'll ever
Wow.
see.
I'm just saying
I hear what you're saying.
that Matt's question.
Yes, Matt's question. Go ahead. Sorry.
I've seen it because I've known people that said we should never have gotten married to begin with. And then that it was mutual. And they were able to raise the kids and even they were better friends and they were lovers. And I think that is true for some people.
I think that people get into those kind of marriages because they don't have these kind of conversations. I think these are the kind of conversations that help people to address some serious issues that sometimes the culture doesn't want addressing, want to overlook it. Like, oh, this is fine. You guys high school sweethearts, or you guys are, equally yoked. Just go ahead and do it, and God will work out all the details. I feel like that is dangerous, and that's where people end up just co-parenting and just trying to go through the motions and not experiencing the fullness of what marriage could be. And I think that that's one of the great things we're doing here at this podcast, having real conversations, uncovering things that people really want to discuss in their heart. And if they don't do it before marriage, it's going to happen at some point, during that marriage.
I mean, that's like even the same thing about trying to remain friends with exes. And I think that could definitely get tricky. I mean, I know a guy that says that he's still friends with every girl that he's dated. And I'm like,
was I that guy?
No, it wasn't you. But, and I'm not, but it's like, I just think, especially if you're going to be in a relationship with someone, even marry someone, and you're still trying to be friends with that person that you used to be involved with. Yeah. That's where it's like.
See, this goes back to my philosophy though, of not dating people that I don't have friendships with already. Because in the friendship is where you build trust, and you already know there's good communication. That's why they're your friend. You trust them. You can talk to them. You're like, maybe I could partner with you in life. So you try dating, and if it doesn't work, you're like, no, we're better off as friends. So you have dated that person, but you go back to a friendship when you see how the dating thing didn't work. And so that's why it's really weird for me to try to like date or get to know someone in an intimate fashion, a stranger. Like I really try to just make sure I date only friends because they already have the prerequisites. How do you let somebody just go straight to their major classes? Like, no, there's prerequisites. Friendship is the prerequisite because friendship is the foundation of every other relationship in my head.
I actually agree with him in regards to that, but there's a little caveat to that. There's definitely been people that I've met over my time on the earth that I was like, oh, this is going to be like, I could see this potentially being more, but first they have to be my friend. Yeah. Now, I won't say they have to be my best friend. Yeah. I think that obviously always takes time. Yeah. But there's been times where I've been in a relationship and they become your best friend because of that connection. But it started off with a friendship. It started off with conversations. It started off well before we ever became intimate, well before we ever like kissed or held hands. We became friends with one another, and then it evolved into a relationship. And I want to say it like this. There's been some times where people that I've tried to get to know and they've tried to get to know me, and I quickly figured out that they were more enamored about being in a relationship with me rather than it was actually being around me.
Explain that, please.
You guys are sick. You guys are gonna get me sick.
No, I'm cold. What? They're freezing me out. Look, scarf on for those you can't see.
Get your weight up.
Sweater.
Get your weight up.
My weight up. I'm trying to get it down. Good Lord.
Got all that hair. Cover yourself. It's built in. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. So whenever you meet somebody, right? There's certain times you look at someone, you're like, oh, I'm attracted to them. Yeah. And they're funny, they're charismatic, they're whatever. Yeah. Right? They got a good job, they got all their teeth, they got, they got all this, they got all that.
I told you, right? Matt and these old women.
Right?
Jeez. They got all their teeth.
We're gonna see the last one.
All right. But these are things that women look at and they're like, okay, he creates this picture of what I desire. Right. Okay. So in their mind, they go, oh, I want this, but they don't even know who that person is.
Got you. Yeah.
So they see what you could represent for them and they see what you can provide for them, but they don't know who you are. So they get a chance to get to know you a little bit and they go, well, I see what I like here and I want more. And you're like, you don't even know what more is.
It's the worst situation in the world is to find yourself attracted to someone because of their potential, only to later find out that they don't want to be that version of themselves.
Yes, and that is true. But I still don't. I've never dated or been in a relationship with someone that I was friends with first. No. And that's just odd to me.
It is. It's odd to me that you've never been attracted to any of your exes.
No.
Are you friends with any of them now?
No.
Hey.
You're not friends with any of your exes?
Cut. Dry.
I'm not.
That's how I'm looking.
And it's just.
Wow. So if you thought you were her friend, please
It would be weird to me to have a friend and then enter into a relationship with them and then go, oh, you know what? It was better as friends. That ruins the friendship.
You know, and that is something that's come up in a few times with me. Like, there's been people who've said, hey, I think that I'm attracted to you as more than friends. And the question is like, will exploring that ruin or taint the friendship?
Yeah.
I think it takes a very mature person, and it takes excellent communication to dive into that after a friendship. But I believe that's what we're built for. We're built for really thorough communication and for maturity. It will call you to the table to stand up in the best version of yourself to date a friend, because there is so much at stake.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the men that I've really been in love with and really, really loved, no, they were not friends first. One of them I met through a mutual individual.
So your
it was like a blind date.
Don't have a chance.
No,
Matt,
I don't.
We're cut out, bro. Never gonna happen. Ever.
You guys already knew that though.
So what? The listeners didn't know.
So that's what I'm saying. It's odd to me. I think I like the idea of meeting someone who I don't know and getting to know. And while dating that person, I'm praying about that individual, because if God says no, then okay, then it's that much easier to say goodbye versus us already being friends and going, you know what? Actually, it's not. God said no, so let's just keep it as friend. Like that's why that's why I do online dating, because it's the same thing. Like you don't know, you're getting to know the individual. So that's why, no, I don't date men.
So you're preparing for the easy goodbye.
Yeah.
What about preparing for the long haul? Like, so is it important at any point that the person become your friend?
I think in the process they do, because you get to know them. You spend time talking to them every day or hanging out with them. Like in the process of it, you're getting to know the individual. So they are becoming that.
Okay.
So I have a question.
Yeah. A lot of questions here, bro.
Ooh, this is good.
Let's go.
Do they become your friend before you become exclusive with them or after?
I think it's during the whole process.
During the whole process.
Because it's like I said, it's still when I'm not physical. Okay, so because a lot of times when people start getting physically involved with someone, it does cloud your judgment. It does get in the way, so to speak, of getting to know the individual. So I'm not. So that's one thing that helps me not to, makes it easier just to learn the individual. So not physical. And I even don't talk future with the individual. And I would tell them, like guys would say, like, when we get married, and it's like, no, that's not where we're at. So don't even, because for a woman, you throw those kinds of seeds at her, she will like receive that. And as a woman, we will daydream and that's what I'm saying. So that's why I know, because we're very, for most women are very emotional and they're, nurturing, and they desire that. So when you are constantly throwing that out there, she will cling to that. So that's why it's like, don't put those thoughts in me, because it's not where we're at right now.
Now, what if they don't say marriage, but they say in the future, I would like to?
I mean, it's different. Okay? It's how you're wording it.
They're not putting you in that image in the future.
Well, no, like you
just talk about your future wife. Don't talk about me.
No, not like that. No, not like that.
So this whole idea of people saying, hey, I want to marry my best friend, that is nowhere on your radar.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Wow. That's interesting. I didn't know. I've known you
this
for
is
years.
Awesome.
Yeah, I did not know that.
So
because we're totally opposite. And I'm like, no, like you need to be like my bestie. Like when I say ride or die, Negro, I mean that. Like bruh.
I do not, marry, because I feel like in a friendship, your expectations are different than in a relationship. Mm-hmm. And you don't, even the way you love and the way you express love, you have not learned that as a friend, because you've just been a friend and you've not been romantic with that individual.
Okay.
So your romantic styles and your love styles will be completely different. You may not know it, and there'll be a disappointment, because it's like, but you're my friend and you're supposed to do this for me because, we're so good with each other, but yet like you don't like public displays of affection. You're not big on public displays of affection.
Yeah. No,
Matt, referring to Matt, he's not. I am. So it's like, if we're in a public place waiting to be seated at a restaurant, I'm going to be sitting on your lap. Like see, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, snap.
So, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, Wait a minute. I have to divert this for a second.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Like, I would consider Matt like my best guy friend.
Okay.
For sure.
All right.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like these things, you learn these things. You don't talk about those things as friends when it comes to romance and how you love and your love style and your love languages, because you're just friends. But then if you're trying to take it to the next phase, so to speak, in a relationship, it'll be completely different, because you don't know them as a lover, you know them as a friend.
Have you ever been attracted to someone that maybe was dating another one of your friends? And you couldn't help you, but you had to be their friend because you couldn't pursue anything with them at that moment because they were dating your friend. So you didn't have this luxury of saying, oh, I'm going to date you or be your friend. You had to be their friend.
Well, I mean, yes, I guess you could say, like you're saying, you have to be their friend because it's your friend's boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I have just like, even I've known men that were married that I was attracted to, but they were married. So it's like
attraction. We heard attraction.
You did hear attraction.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So all the men you've happened to want in an attractive way have been off limits.
No.
Just some of them.
No, it's not that I wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
physically attracted to him at some point.
Physically attracted, or even just through conversation, you could tell that the chemistry was great.
You've had chemistry with married men.
In the sense of I could see where if they weren't married, it was like this could have worked. But they are.
Let's do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. Let's go.
That brings up something though.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Ooh, that brings up something. Okay. And I don't want to get too far off beat because I do want to tie that into something.
Yeah.
But talking about connection, when we talk about, let's say, I've said this for a while, okay? And people talk about infidelity within relationships. And I've had certain women say like, oh, like, you know, I would rather have a man cheat on me physically than ever do it emotionally.
Oh my goodness.
And I've heard women say this, and you know, and for me, it's interesting. So I'm like, oh, man, I mean, they're both really, really bad. They're both really, really bad. And
neither.
Yeah, you don't want either. You really don't want either, right? And my rebuttal was, I was like, man, like for a guy, you shouldn't. For any person, you shouldn't be cheating. Period. All right.
Okay.
For a guy, physically, you can almost take your mind out of it and just have it be a physical thing. Okay. But the moment it becomes a connection mentally, that means you've already thought about it for a long, long period of time. And that's why when it comes to like infidelity, especially with females in relationships, it was never just, oh, well, I met Phil at a nightclub and he was really nice. Nah, you knew Phil for a while. You've been meditating about Phil. You've been talking to Phil. Y'all been having conversations before the decision of infidelity was ever made. So that's why it comes right back into who you allow into that personal space, who you allow to really get a chance to get to know you, and who you allow to have open conversations with about things that should only be allowed with your partner.
Partner meaning marriage, or partner being the dating person you're dating?
The person you are married to, the person you are engaged to, and the person you are dating. The person when I say dating, I'm sorry, in a relationship with.
There you go.
Relationship with someone you are exclusive with.
Okay. Interesting. So, I mean, this is a great topic because I know that, you know, this is the tales from the virgin, of Playboy, and the stripper. And so I know that for myself, there's been a lot of research, and I can relate to it, where men who hire sex workers don't really hire them for sex. They hire them for conversation and for connection, because that's something they're not experiencing in their relationship, in their marriage, or in their relationships and whatnot. And I've found myself in that state before, just like, I just want to have a good conversation, or I want just simple comfort, something that is non-sexual. And so when you say about who you invite into that territory, I feel like it's a responsibility when you're married to meet those kind of needs of your partner, because we're wired for that. Yeah. We thirst for that. Yeah. And so to have your partner hungry or thirsting for that is a dangerous position to put them in, when you do have the call or the responsibility to kind of meet those needs within the scope of your health and your wellness in that moment. You know what I'm saying to you? And so it just really makes me kind of try to identify with, this is going to probably sound really bad, but like the good side of prostitution, or the good side of a call girl, or like the services that they do provide outside of the sinful ones that are good for. This is not going over well. Okay, no, there is no good side to prostitution. I apologize. I just thought that maybe I throw that out there to see if maybe we're open to no.
Some listeners are right now are going, what? And some are going, I'm intrigued.
Now we were with you for a second there. All I'm saying is that there's so much that happens. So much of responsibility. To whom much is given, much is required. Whether you're dating someone in a relationship, or whether you're engaged, or whether you're married, And I think that when people start to take a moment and take a class maybe on relationships and what comes with this title, I think that they can either better equip themselves or they can better become more aware of like, am I really ready for what comes with this? Because a lot of people want the wedding, but not the marriage.
Yeah.
A lot of people want the title, but not the responsibility.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we definitely have to consider. Even with dating, dating comes with a responsibility, especially when you become exclusive.
Yeah.
That's a verbal agreement and commitment that you two are making to each other.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
It's a code in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's very, there's been times where I've had friends of mine, they're like, oh yeah, I'm talking to this girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, so that's your girl? Like, no, that's not my girl. It's like, it's my girl.
It's not my girl.
I'm like, no, listen, hold up. And they're talking to a bunch of different females,
Mhm.
And then they go, well, that's my main one. First of all, there's no main, man. First of all, if that's a person you
Monique,
want
is
to
there a main?
No, I'm in agreement with him. It's not like that at all.
You don't have a main and a side piece. Listen, you just have a relationship. Okay. That's it. And to really tie that in with scripture it's like serving multiple gods. There's only one. You can only serve one. You can only serve one God. So sitting there being like, well, today I was talking to this one, but I hung out with this one. Listen, there's one thing to listen. If you're just now getting to meet somebody and you guys are hanging out and you're all getting to know each other, and as long as you guys are open, like say, listen, we just met a couple weeks ago. I like hanging out with you. We're not exclusive yet, but I want to kind of see where this goes. And they know, we're not exclusive yet. I just kind of want to see where this goes. Great. Those are the conversations you need to have. But often those conversations are not had. And then next thing you know, you're talking to someone for a year where this other person thought you guys were in a relationship and you have them over for Thanksgiving, you're buying them Christmas presents. You guys are talking about going on trips together, not knowing the whole time you had side piece.
So
or 2 or 3 side pieces.
Have you had experience?
You got sides, man. I like mac and cheese.
Wow. Have you had experience with that yourself? Huh? See, let me tell the listener something. My responsibility here is to make sure that we always come back to our tales.
Yeah.
To tell our own tales. I've had an experience with a young lady before where there was a huge interest and great chemistry. Yeah. Something shifted midway through. When I say midway through, I'm talking about like a few weeks after knowing her. Okay. And she hit me up. She was like, yo, like things are different, and you're not, pursuing me. And I'm definitely not pursuing you. I'm happy that you know that. And she carried on the conversation. I was like, well, because I'm not pursuing you, and we carried on the conversation. But I had to make that clear because there often is, like Matt said, a misunderstanding that someone thinks that if you're spending time with them and talking to them that, you're pursuing. And sometimes you have to tell people like, yo, this is not me pursuing. This is just me as my personality. I'm just this type of person. That's why I say when you become interested in someone, it calls you to a higher level of communication. There's things that you wouldn't normally have to say that you need to say because of the openness of the heart that the person has towards you. There's a greater care you have to come over with your language, with your words, with your intentions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. I agree.
I think that's very big when it comes to dating. I have this thing with dating, right? So just bear with me. You guys know how I am. So marriage has an expiration date, right? Mm-hmm. And the expiration date is death. Mm-hmm. Till death do us part. They both say it, right? So after death, I'm no longer committed to you. Like I can go and marry someone else, right? And everybody should be fine. Nobody should be upset.
Yes.
Matt is blinking his eyes so fast.
Okay.
He wants to know where you're going with
I don't have to wait 3 or 4 or 5 months or a year to marry someone else. Like I can marry someone the next day. The contract is null and void after you die. So, when you need time to grieve, don't tell me how much time I need to grieve if I'm ready to move on. Anyway, so my point is saying like in dating, I've also put the same kind of institution in there. So the principle that I have now is that I date for 3 months at a time.
Okay.
And so the point of this is that I've had so many conversations with people saying like, I was in this relationship for 5 years and it ended up being nothing. Like, how did you find yourself in a relationship for 5 years and end up being nothing? Because everybody is walking in an assumption. So what I do is I do 3 months. Say, okay, we're going to date for 3 months. Well, that's crazy. How am I supposed to know such in 3 months? I'm not saying you have to. All I'm saying is that at the 3 month mark, we're going to come together and make a decision out of 3 options. We're going to either, for me, go back to friendship. or we're going to move into engagement, or we're going to give this 3 more months. Those are the only 3 options we have after 3 months, because that way, one of the things that's most valuable in life is time. People don't want to waste their time, but people often say, I don't want to waste my time, but they're also horrible communicators, which bad communication is why most people end up wasting a lot of their time and wasting a lot of their life. So I believe in that 3-month policy. Like, okay, this is going to be good for 3 months. And if we're so wrapped up into it at the end of this 3rd month, why don't we go ahead and get engaged? Let's go ahead and do it then. And if you have reservations, then we need to have a discussion, because the girl sometimes is ready at 3 months to get engaged, and she's wondering why the guy isn't, but they never had a time and a set time to have a conversation about, what are your intentions? Are you still trying to get to know me? Do you know me well enough? How long does it take to recognize sunshine?
There was a phrase, and I hope I don't mess this up, and it had to do with getting things done and meeting goals, and it had to do with, improper preparation cultivates poor performance. And, in relationships, that's exactly what you're going to have. If you don't have open communication, the relationship is not going to work. It's going to be a very, very poor performance. It's going to be a very, very lackluster relationship, and no one's going to be satisfied. You're not going to be satisfied. She's not going to be satisfied. And the next thing you know, you guys are in some bad relationship, not communicating,
unhealthy.
And then you're doing outside satisfaction.
Outside satisfaction. Hey, man, I like that. Say that again, man. Improper preparation cultivates
poor performance.
Wow. I really like that.
It's true. Communication is very key, and that's the problem that people don't have. They make assumptions.
Have you ever had a problem with communication?
Yeah, definitely when I was younger, for sure. I didn't, I think now being older, knowing more of what I don't want has helped me to communicate better.
Do you know what you do want?
Yeah. I do. But I'm saying I feel like sometimes learning what you don't want is just as important.
Yeah, agreed.
So, yeah. But that's why, even like, for example, when you and I met, so when Donovan and I met, we met off of Instagram. And
I don't remember that. We met off Instagram?
We did. I don't remember how
long does that weed stay in my system? Jesus. We met
Yeah. Because
let's go with it.
Here's the story. You probably don't remember.
All right.
So we met off of Instagram.
Yeah.
And I don't know who found who, but I just remember I saw a post that you put up about your church. And I was like, oh, I remember that church, because mine used to do stuff with yours when our churches were smaller.
Gotcha.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
So, and then, so you were like, oh, you should come visit. So I was like, okay. So I haven't been there for years. And so I went and visited, and it was your birthday. I remember that. So I brought you a gift and everything, because that's just my nature, just how I am.
Any of this. This is great.
And so,
thank you again for that.
What a great friend he is.
Wow. Yes. Clearly gifts are not my love language, but I appreciate. Yes.
And so, but we just like kind of hit it off, like talking and getting to know each other and stuff. So we just kind of hit it off, and people, you came to like my life group, small group type of a thing, introduced you to that. And people would say stuff like, oh my gosh, you guys would be such a great couple, and I think he likes you and stuff like that. But I never, like, yes, I find you attractive physically, but I never saw you in that way.
Because I was too short.
No. Maybe at the time.
But under 6 foot. And then Monique likes to wear really high heels. And so in her high heels, she's well over 6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so people would say that, but on the inside, I was like, no, I just think that's him. And I just think that's his personality.
Hold on. What in particular are you talking about?
Like that you like me.
Oh.
That you have an interest.
I get that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I get that too. People mistake my friendliness with flirtatiousness. So that's why I asked you, because we hung out a couple times, and that's why I called you and asked you. This is probably maybe like a couple months after us meeting and getting to know each other. And I was like, do you like me in a romantic way? Like, do you have feelings for me? Man. And you were like,
what did I say? Because I do not remember that question.
You said, you were like, no, Monique. You're like, I never thought of you like that.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, cool. Because I was right. Like, like it's one of those things where it was like.
So that's good communication.
That's what I'm saying. Communicating that, but so many times people don't, and they make the assumption. And so that's why it was like, okay, good. So it's mutual. Like we're we're friends, we're good, and getting to know each other.
This is one of the reasons why I don't care what people think, because every time I'm around a woman, like people think that, oh, I'm with that person. But again, it's just if I open up a door, maybe because it's so rare in our culture, in our generation, like, oh, they must be dating. Or, I've been places with my blood sister and people thought we were in a relationship. I've been places, my mom looks young. People thought we were in a relationship. So this is one of the reasons why I just kind of like really, I don't even defend the things that I do anymore. I don't defend like the perception people have of me anymore, because it's just crazy. If I want to have a wonderful dating experience, I really have to turn off the comment bar, on my dating experience, because people are always going to have an opinion. Even as it pertains to just to lighten it up a little bit, because what you said just made me think about dating someone that a friend of yours used to date, like like the bro code. Like, would I date Matt's ex?
Would you?
Well, we don't have the same taste in women, so
you don't.
Yeah, not even close.
You don't at all.
Yeah,
No, so.
We don't. Nothing against Matt's choices, but yeah. That's great. So we're gonna be real good friends. So if I do happen to see his wife in yoga pants, I'll still be good. So
yeah, where that curtain goes.
Yeah.
So have you in the past ever dated a woman that one of your friends?
Have you broken the bro code?
I think I have once. I was young. I was really, really young. And I felt to this day, I still feel bad about it. And it wasn't anything. It wasn't like we dated or anything. It was, I think it was in high school. And I was in high school, and I felt bad because it was
a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a very, very long time ago.
You guys are wrong.
And it was my buddy's first crush. It was my buddy's first crush. And
all the more reason why.
He wasn't even done with puberty. It doesn't matter.
And I think it was his first crush. I believe that might have been like his first or second like kiss too. And
Matt said, "I bet you I can do it better."
It was one of those things where we went to the amusement park, and she never met me before, so I met her, and I could just tell she had that look in her eye.
Yeah.
I already knew. I was like,
it's about to happen.
You
Were they presently together?
They weren't together, but they were just like, they were kids, so they just like kissed, and at some point in time, but they weren't together.
All right.
She met me, rode a couple, due to the type of roller coasters, we
Yeah.
had to partner up a couple times, and she partnered with me.
Yeah.
And I guess he could tell,
Mm-hmm.
and he got a little envious. And then next thing you know, he starts teasing us. And I was like, I ain't having all this. So I was like, yo, let's go. And so I said, let's go, just me and you. And then, next thing you know, Yahtzee.
Wow.
And to this day, I feel bad. I felt bad about that. And yeah, it kind of like fractured. I mean, we were kids, but it like fractured our like relationship.
Yeah.
Because, I kind of came in and was like, that's mine, my germs. And he was like, that you're my friend. Why would you do such a thing? So ever since then,
who created that, man?
I think it's one of those codes where you're like, listen, there's enough out there. We live in a society now where everyone wants to, if you see somebody at the top of a hill, you go, how do I drag them down so I get to the top of the hill? And I'm like, bruh, no, I can find my own hill, and we can look at each other and be parallel with one another. I can look across, and you're on your own hill. I don't need to go after yours. There is plenty of hills out there that I can climb and conquer and have my own fun and God's glory and have that be totally fine. But I don't need to climb your hill.
You never been out with your friends and you order something off the menu, you say, I'll have that too. Like, sometimes people just have similar tastes, so I do not care about a bro code when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And I've had my close friends date and try to pursue and try to hook up with girls that I've been in relationships with or girls that I've been with, and they try to hide from me.
They try to hide?
Yeah. For instance, a tale of mine. At one point I was dating one of the top elite, hottest female dancers in LA, right? And so it didn't work out for various reasons. And then one of the guys that I called my brother, I found out later from her, she had contacted me, said he had been pursuing her, trying to talk to her. They ended up going to the movies and, they kissed. And I'm like, great. Is it going to work out?
Yeah.
That was my response. But let me tell you that he had not contacted me in months, and we were like thicker than thieves, right? So I contacted him and I said, I need you to come to my office and talk to me.
Come to my office? What?
Well, I was working in this office at the time, and so I had Big Papa style, like I was king
to the office.
Yeah,
I was the janitor at the building, but I still had access to the office. So meet me at the office. So he came in, right, and he was super nervous, and I'm like, so you're not gonna tell me? Like what? like, bro, you here now? Like, don't play.
Uh-huh.
Like what? Like, all right, so this is what I heard. Stuttering starter. I said, stop. I said, I would never get in the way of true love, bro. Like, I'm your brother. And if you think that could work for you and that could be your one, I would never stand in the way of true love.
Mm-hmm.
And that has always been my stance. And it's happened multiple times after that with other guys who were supposed to, who I say supposed to my brother, who are my brothers, friends of mine from my past, who are my bros, who have definitely pursued that same young lady or whatever. And I just figured like maybe I have good taste and people just, like to model what I do. I don't take that personal. Just like I wouldn't want somebody to take it personal if I feel like I can do a better job at being her boyfriend than you did. What that song by Drew Hill? I should be your boyfriend. What? I love that song. I actually thought about writing a book called I Should Be Your Boyfriend.
So,
Mismatch
with that
couples.
being said,
What you got, Mano?
if someone is engaged,
Yes.
are they off limits then?
No.
So if your boy is engaged to a female,
Yes.
that means you could just spit game on her?
What is taking so long? How long you been engaged? Make a decision.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, no. Like that's
Bruh.
you about to get shot.
I mean, for me to even, so for me as who I am, for me to even step into that arena, it has to be something existing there that's supernatural. And I am not about to let somebody else walk away what I feel like is mine.
All right, let me ask you this then. Would you tell your friend first? Would you give him the courtesy and be
I
like,
definitely would.
okay.
Bruh, make a decision because I'm ready to make mine.
So you tell him first before you say anything.
I'm way too big of a dude to go behind another man's back. No, I'm coming to your face and I'm going to tell you straight up and down.
Hey, I like your girl.
The conversation is, hey, what are you doing with this, man? Are you going to lock her down or what?
Well, he's already attempting to lock it down because he's already engaged.
I know women who've been engaged for 3 years, bro. It's a holding place.
Yes.
It's a holding pattern?
It's a sale.
They
They get engaged to you to give you the idea like, oh, yeah, we're gonna do this eventually. I know girls who've been engaged for 5 years, bro.
Oh, yeah.
How long it take you to get your money right?
Yeah. Maybe money's that bad.
That part is true.
That part.
No, that is, yes.
Yeah.
And that is true. Because
So, no, I would infringe upon. Engagement is not off limits for me. No.
Wow. Okay.
Married is now off limits.
No.
What about pregnant?
now?
pregnant is
Wait, what do you
definitely
mean?
not off limits.
What?
What do you mean by now? When you
I struggled with that, man. I've had some married women that I knew that I was like, bro, your husband is stupid. He's so stupid. He's so stupid.
You
And I
told
think-
him that?
No, I said it to myself. No,
Okay.
no. I didn't say
and
that to
that's
her.
like what I was saying.
He's over here
Earlier.
whispering sweet nothings.
Your husband's so stupid.
Uh-huh.
No, I mean, but I just felt it, but that for me, that's off limits. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's planting a seed. And I don't want anybody stepping into my marriage trying to convince my wife of anything. So I would never plant that seed. But if I'm engaged to somebody and I'm being lackadaisical and lazy with my affection and my effort about like making this official, bruh, you try to step to it, that might just give me the motivation I need to like, oh, you know what? All right. Like if I'm off the market or on the market, nobody really wants to waste their time like that. That's why I asked the question, like, are you married at the proposal, the engagement, or the wedding, or when the paperwork is signed? And for me, it's at the I do. When you say, will you be my wife? And she says, I do. You're mine. We're married. We'll tell the state about it whenever we're ready to tell the state about it. But as far as me, you, and God is concerned, we just locked this down.
Okay, let's get back
Even
to
with that.
what does the Bible say about the consummation of marriage? When does it become
When there's blood on the
consummation?
sheets.
When there is blood, right?
But my wife's not going to be a virgin, I don't think. So there may
But
not
it still
be any
doesn't take
blood.
place until after the ceremony, though. That's just it.
So what aspects of the ceremony make this so official? What is it?
Well, I mean, that's what you had even back then. They had someone officiating. There was the priest that
Okay.
would come. So you having
I'm gonna bring the priest with me to the proposal. Okay, go ahead.
So this is what I'm saying. It's the someone there officiating it. It's after the I do. That is even where eloping comes in.
Yeah.
Because it's you, the two of you, a priest
And a witness.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
And that's
That's all we
where
need as
elope-
far as our culture is concerned. But as far as God and the Bible is concerned, how much do we need? Because if that's the case, Adam and Eve were the only two people on the planet at some point. Were they ever married? Because there wasn't a witness or a priest.
But the Bible
I
doesn't
think-
refer to as refer to them as wife though. Husband and wife.
So God witnessed it.
So
And he was the priest.
now there was nobody else on the earth at
There
the
was
time.
nobody else on
and
the
then
earth.
ordinances were put in place though, and that is a part of it. And so that's the thing that we're going by.
So let me go all the way. Shipwrecked. It's you and her on deserted island. I wish I could marry you. I really wish I couldn't marry you. I'll have crabs and alligators. Like, come on. It's ridiculous, man.
It's not.
It's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous because
Oh
the
my
ceremony
goodness.
that is the thing that happens before consummation of a marriage.
It wasn't always that way. That's cultural, I believe.
Well, it's even biblical. So that's what I'm saying.
A lot of biblical is cultural because it's based on the Jews.
Okay, so it's still a part of
A part of what?
biblical, though, regardless.
So you're talking about Jews and Gentiles being one. We don't agree. We don't go
No,
to all their
that's not what I'm
customs.
talking about.
I don't have little curly sideburns and stuff.
I do.
Those are Hasidic Jews. Those aren't the same.
Oh, see, it's too complicated.
getting
I
into
just
that.
want to be in
We're not
love.
getting
I just want to be in love, marry a woman, have some kids, be happy, and show everybody how it's
So then
supposed
why
to be done.
can't you do that after you get married?
We're just trying to find out when does that point start.
Then get your money right and go ahead and find you a
Is
girl.
it really about the money?
I don't know. It depends on the girl.
Exactly. I know what I'm looking for now.
Depends,
Thank you.
depends
You made
on
it
the
clear.
female.
As soon as I find a woman, shoot me an email if you agree with what I'm saying. Redemption podcast at Gmail.
This one.
All right, I'm sorry. So let's keep going.
It's
Okay.
here.
Um,
I'm not a big fan of like huge weddings. I'm really not.
Okay.
I'd rather save a good portion of that money and be like, let's invest this into our future.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not crazy on like we need this huge venue and put on. And yes, you should be able to have a cool venue and like have your friends and your family there. But it's about a party. It's not about to show off how flossy you are or how much wealth you can gather in this particular day. That's not what it's about. It's about, I think a lot of people go to get married because they're like, hey, I like this person, they like me, we're gonna get married, and we're just gonna just have this special day of just everything we've ever wanted. That's how I think a lot of women look, and a lot of guys are going, how much is it gonna cost, man?
I mean, that's what they say. They say that the wedding is for the bride.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I think, yeah, in the sense of that's how it happens.
So let me go back to this cultural piece because I know a lot of women who don't like the order of this particular service or ceremony because they're like, this one man is giving ownership of this woman to another man. Like, who gives this woman to be married to this man? Like first of all, in my property, this is what the conversation that women have said to me. I'm not anybody's property. I'm not my father's property. I'm not going to be this husband's property. And so maybe there's something about the way this is ran that we should look at and question.
Oh, that's
Nobody gives the man away.
I think I get what you're saying about the property portion of it.
Yeah.
I think I always looked at it as the woman goes from being kept by her father or being kept by someone that she deems necessary to keep her safe. Okay, like you talked about before, this is someone you feel safe with.
Okay.
He goes the transfer of someone I feel safe with, i.e. my father or someone else, right?
Okay.
Another figure
Relative,
Okay.
yeah.
to you. Now she is yours. She is
To
not
keep safe.
to keep safe, to
Okay.
nurture, and to
Provide for.
to
Yeah.
provide for
Okay.
in sickness and in health. So I don't look at it as
That
this is my
sounds
property.
good.
I can
Yeah.
do with it as I please.
Okay.
I look at it as this is a
transferring
gem.
it.
This is to
Yeah.
be cherished. This is to be
So,
cultivated,
Yeah.
and we're giving this to you. Do with it and
So should
protect
your
it.
mother give you to this wife to nurture and to comfort?
I mean, if you want to, but I mean, well, that's where you go in Genesis, and that's why it says the man shall leave his father and mother
Mhm.
and cleave to the wife, and the two become one. Because
Okay.
really, it really is a giving away of both, if you look at it like that. So
I'm just saying, can we customize the ordinances and how it all goes down?
I mean, you can. I think you can customize it to your liking.
Yeah,
That's totally fine.
definitely.
yeah,
Just keep it. Just keep in mind.
All right.
Just
So
keep in mind that I think sometimes people forget when we talk about like the word of God.
Mhm.
And they go, especially females, are like, well, they talk about a man and his household, and I'm to submit underneath the man, and what about him submitting to me and like my needs? And it's like, listen, at the end of the day, a man submits to God, and a woman submits to a man. Okay, that's
We're
that
gonna
is
get
the
some
pecking order.
emails on that one.
Yeah, it's for sure. I'm sure it's gonna happen.
All right.
But submission, okay. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. A submission does not mean that you have to agree with everything.
Okay.
Submission is a conversation that there is an order, that there's a chain of how things work, and you work within that guidance of that chain. Okay? Now, in the context of a relationship, I'm sure there's going to be some female listeners that are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you. Like, we're supposed to be equal. There is, yes.
Yep. They're going to be mad you keep calling them females too.
Women. All right. there is equal, okay? But equal does not mean the same. Okay? Let's get that totally. Me and Monique are for sure. We are equal. Both beautiful God's creations. He created both of us. We are both equal in God's home, but we are not the same. Okay? So if we were to get married, guess what? I go to work, I provide, that's what it is. And some people say, well, that's old time because a lot of women are in the workplace now, and they do. And actually, on average, more women with education actually make more than men without education. It's happened. Go look it up. Google it. But yeah, that's just the way it is. Like, a man is to provide. Now, if your woman has a really, really good job and she's able to provide, then great.
You're talking about providing financially.
I'm talking about financially.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Now, if you're married and you provide financially, and she happens to be providing, staying at home and providing to clean the house and do whatever, that's wherever you guys agree on. Versus if you guys have a dual income.
Wait a minute. Monique, do you want to be a stay-at-home wife?
I know I won't be, because for me personally, I know I'm called to full-time ministry. So for me, I will be traveling ministering.
So let's talk about that for a second, though, because we've had the conversation before about ministry doesn't pay that well.
It depends. That will depend.
Depends what ministry field you go into. I know when you go to churches, there's an honorarium. There's a love offering. There's not a rate that they ask you for. So I don't know. For a lot of people who are dabble in the ministry, just with churches in particular, it's kind of like, whatever I can come up with. It's more of a hobby versus something you can bank on to sustain your family.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what you're going to be doing. And God's going to show you favor in that area. So you're not going to particularly be a stay-at-home wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not particularly.
Because of your calling. But outside of your calling, you wouldn't mind?
I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
No.
Now, do you want a stay-at-home wife?
Do I want one?
Yes. If you were married,
I think my deepest desire is to have a partnership with my wife, that we are entrepreneurs and we're building something together. That's my desire. I think that she has she's going to be equipped with all kind of weaponry that I'm going to need and that we're going to be able to use together. Like, I'm not a big fan of equality. I feel like the goal at the wedding is to have a funeral, that we both die and become one. And you don't have to be equal with one. We're just one. So it's not a fight over equality. There's death of both people, and now we're one flesh, which is what the Bible calls us. So there's no argument over it. I think that the argument over equality happens when the people aren't willing to die to self.
That's good.
Okay.
That's all.
No, that's good.
To me, there's nothing more attractive than a woman that could, to me, when I say hold it down.
Hold it down.
I mean a woman that could hold it down. A woman that can go to work, come home, take care of whatever she needs to take care of, and the man could do the same.
Okay.
All right. So it's not just one person; it's both. When you talk about partnership, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
It's a dual partnership. But yeah, I want a woman that can hold it down. If she's a ICU nurse and she makes good money and she can hold it down, then more power to you. Let's go ahead and get this rolling. But
listen to that though. If she makes that kind of money and she can hold it down, my mentor once asked me. He said, "This is how you're going to find your wife. We're going to identify that it's her. Who is it that you want to struggle with? Who is it that you want to be connected to in the midst of a struggle? Yeah. Not when money is flowing in, things are well, but who do you want to struggle with? Because life is going to continue to bring obstacles. But who is it that you want to struggle with? Maybe when both you guys have lost your jobs, or maybe when there's some things going on in the government and stuff. Like, who do you want to be linked up with? Who do you want to die to self with in those kind of environments?
I want someone who is able to work 12-hour days and not think twice about it. Someone that can hold it down, whether it be with kids, whether it be with food, whether it be with whatever. Someone who goes, I don't need to have the next best car because I have a car that gets me from point A to point B. I want someone who really doesn't really care about those. They like nice things,
Mhm.
but those aren't a necessity.
Got you.
And it's hard for sometimes in our generation because we see Instagram, we see Twitter, we see these things, and we go, "Oh, I want to ride or die." But your ride or die's got to have her hair done every month. She's got to get her nails done every 2 weeks.
Mhm.
She wants to make sure you guys are popping bottles every now and then. She wants to go on the gram and floss, and she wants to do her squats and her leggings and make
Okay.
sure she puts that on the gram so she can get her likes. Like,
Uh-huh.
that's cool. That's great. But I can guarantee you, she will probably not stay your ride or die. When
Yikes.
things go awry, you will be broke, busted, and disgusted and alone. That's all I got to say about that.
Mono, what you got for us as it pertains to that?
Pertains to what?
The same topic. So it's just like I don't even want to.
No,
So
you.
think about somebody that you. What is it that you want in a partner? Especially like thinking about the fact that struggles will come. What is that? What is that character trait? What is that personality that you're looking for in a partner?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's someone. There's just a resolve and not giving up, because hard times will come, and
Mhm.
a man who obviously is trusting God
Mhm.
and just seeking God what to do.
Yeah.
You know, wisdom comes along with experience. Wisdom comes along with even growing in God. So that's because I understand him being like the decision maker ultimately when it comes down to things
Okay.
in the family. Yes, we talk about stuff. You go pray about it together, pray about it individually if we disagree on something. But if he says, you know, I still think we should go this way, then that's where submission comes in. And that's where it's like, okay, then we will go with that. And so,
So even if you're hearing something different from God, it's your responsibility to obey your husband.
I'm going to go with him. Yeah. Because he ultimately will be the one that is going to answer to God for that decision.
Ah.
Okay.
Do you tell him
She passed the
that
buck.
you heard something different? Let's say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, you still tell
That's what I said. If you
Okay.
agree on a decision
Yeah.
and I think we should go right and he still feels we should go left, and I'm like, I still think we should do this. And, you know, as I said, you pray about it together, pray about it individually. But a decision needs to be made.
Yeah.
So then, all right, you go ahead and make it. And I'm
Okay.
going to go with what you know, because definitely you need a man who can lead the home and make decisions like that and be assertive
Okay.
and not be wishy-washy. And even if he made the wrong decision, God's grace is going to cover it, you know, but, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I feel like when it comes to that who do I want to be with in the midst of a struggle, I think that something that's rare that I've noticed in my generation is just a good old fashioned happy woman. Like it's so many women that I see that just aren't happy. They're not happy with themselves. They're not happy with life. They hardly smile. And that's one of the things that I look at when I first meet a woman. And that's one of the main indicators I tell if I'm even going to be interested or not. And at any point during our initial conversation, did you halfway smile? Did you laugh at something I said? Like joy and happiness are premier when it comes to importance in my mind and in my heart. You can have all the hustle in the world, but I want a happy home. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that takes two happy individuals, no matter what we're going through,
Yeah.
you know? And so
Yeah.
for me, it's like, I look at a lot of women with, you know, the resting B face, you know? And as long as that's just an act, that's great. But if that's really your personality, that kind of sucks. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? See, the Bible talks about like, you know, from your perspective on life, your countenance shows like, you know, there should be a joy or a happiness
yeah.
that's present. I'm not saying, and I've had women before tell me, I'm sorry that I'm not, you know, just this chipper, golly go lucky type person. And, you know, they try to say it like it's a bad thing. And I'm like, I'm sorry you're not either. Because honestly, I would love that. I would love that. That makes me happy. Like people accuse me sometimes of just having too much of an optimistic perspective or being like, I've been through too much life to just really like let myself lay in a depression or let myself lay in a negative opinion about life, about myself, about a circumstance. Like, and so that's honestly, that's a game changer for me. And it's crazy how rare it is, you know, to find people who are genuinely happy, people who can go hours without smiling or laughing. That is crazy.
Yeah,
to
I
me.
can't be around those type of people. That would bother me to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just not that kind of individual.
Monique's
As
looking at me
much
like she got
as
somebody
I-
she want to hook me up with. Who came to mind, Monique?
No.
She's like, ooh, you know you'd be good for my friend. Yes.
I tried, but you didn't want to.
I tried that. Kind of tried it. We got on the phone. There was no chemistry. Great woman, great personality. Definitely happy. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
To you, like all like for real. Like, but it wasn't anything there. So I appreciate your effort.
Yeah.
That was awesome. No, that was a good pick. That was
I thought it was.
physically on the outside and personality wise,
Yeah.
everything. But thank
Yeah.
you, but no, thank you.
It's all good.
It's all good. Yeah,
It's all
yeah. She's wonderful. Yes,
Well,
you know.
I have a question.
Oh, here we go. Matt and his question. Let's get it.
Oh, no.
Do we have time for Matt's question?
What's Matt's
Yes, we do.
We got a little bit.
Let's go. Let's go, Matt.
Bathroom etiquette.
Oh God.
Bathroom etiquette.
We have to lighten this up a little bit because people will say, "Oh, bathroom etiquette." Like, who cares what you do in the bathroom? This is such a big deal.
It
When you-
matters.
Yeah.
This is why I had a crush on women with short hair because
Oh.
Okay.
Monique has way too much hair.
Okay.
You have to take into account the
Okay.
3 hours it's going to take for those lovely locks to be done,
They're all rolled up today,
and
though.
how
for
much
those
it's
of you
going to
who can't
talk
see
to
me.
have a plumber on retainer.
No. I don't. After I paste it to the shower when I wash my hair, and then I take it out and throw it in the trash.
You paste your hair to
You know,
the-
like when you're washing your hair and the hair comes out.
Okay, that's smart.
Yeah, so I put it up on the shower
Matt's like,
wall. Matt's face.
"What?"
It's good. You put it up on the shower wall. Any men listening that have wives, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
No.
And then at the end, I grab it and I throw it in the
you're talking
trash.
about. I have a lot of hair, so I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, curly hair just gets everywhere.
Curly hair gets everywhere.
And
It does. We like
And
shed.
Matt, I'm going to answer your question by saying I am so willing to be patient as long as the outcome properly matches the amount of time it took to get that outcome. If you're going to spend 3 hours, come out looking like you spent 3 hours.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying. And I know personally for me, I do a lot of manscaping. I do a lot of grooming. So I might take a minute myself, but I've got it down to a science. So I'm willing to wait for something that's worthy of my wait.
And see, okay, here's my thing. I love a beautiful woman.
Okay.
I love a beautiful woman that can do her makeup.
Mhm.
A woman that can go ahead and let her hair down and
Okay.
like, do it and have it be all types of sexy. There's something amazing about when you see a woman just flowing and glowing and whatever. But I also like natural beauty.
Mhm.
Okay, like natural beauty for me will always top the whole shebang with the makeup and all this different stuff because
Okay.
I'm seeing you in your truest form of essence and beauty.
Yeah.
Can I say this?
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh, I see it coming.
Listen, women. I had to stop myself. Women, listen.
Ladies.
man.
Ladies.
Wait, ladies.
Ladies. And some men. Ladies,
Dang.
please get the makeup right. Listen, there shouldn't be different shades on the neck. All right. It shouldn't be different shades on the other side of the face. Just blend it. If you don't, listen, I'm gonna get you some YouTube videos so you go
Tutorials.
ahead and get this popping.
Let me tell you what
This
I
is
did.
Ridiculous. And please don't. If you're dating an African American guy, you know what I'm talking about.
Goodness.
See, he already knows what I'm talking
I already
about.
know where
if
you're
you
going.
were dating
Tell
an
him.
African American guy,
Preach.
listen.
Preach.
I don't do cocaine. Never have done cocaine. So when I kiss you, my nose shouldn't look like I just did a whole stack of cocaine.
Come on, Jesus.
All right.
Come on.
Just saying. All right.
And my shirts.
Yes. Hey, listen. Stop messing up my shirts. You don't have to go down there and buy me these new shirts.
Jeez.
All right. And my pillowcases.
Wait a minute.
Back in the
Wow.
day. Back in the day.
Wow. He
Back
told
in
the
the
whole
day.
truth.
Back in the day.
And my belt buckled. Listen. All right. So this is the thing. This is this is what I'm saying. I agree with Matt, but let me tell you, fellas, what I've done to go the extra mile. I was dating a young lady, and she wasn't as versed when it comes to makeup and physical presentation because of the upbringing she had with her mother and her sisters. It wasn't there, but I really liked her. So what I did was that I hired a makeup artist, a hairstylist, and a fashion designer. Look, $150 per hour, and I had all three of them for 2 hours. I hired them to come out. I rented a hotel room. I told her to invite her homegirls over. She invited like 6 girls. They sat in the whole hotel room, and those 3 people did a workshop on fashion, hair, and makeup because that's how interested I was in that girl. Now, every guy may not have the finances to do something like that, but you do know somebody who knows how to do those things. And if you care about a woman, then help her become what you feel like she could be. Help her become stronger in an area where you may think she is weak. You know what I'm saying? Or where she's expressed to you that she wants to become stronger.
I think she has to express that because if you bring that up
Yeah.
without you like, listen, girl, you need to get this makeup done. She look what?
Yeah.
And she gonna be like, well, you know what? I'm tired of you anyway.
Well, yeah. So we did have a discussion, and she knew it wasn't a surprise.
Okay.
She knew that I
Okay.
was doing it, but I know that it's for me. This goes back to my entrepreneurship in business. Don't speak on a problem unless you have a possible solution.
Mhm.
If you have a problem with anything she does, or she has a problem with something I do, bring it to my attention, but also with it, bring a solution or two to help me with it. Because outside of a solution attached to it, it's just criticism. And that's not healthy. That doesn't help anybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So
this was good.
And listen.
Oh, boy.
Anyone who knows me
knows
this is my catchphrase. Ladies. Baby wipes are not just for babies. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. I have baby wipes at my crib. I'm a grown man. Use baby wipes. All right? Have for the past 10 years.
Monique is on you, bro. Okay? Monique is on you.
We have done polls about this, me and Monique. We have literally done polls about this.
Monique.
And they agreed with me. So.
It's 50-50.
It was
what is 50? What's the other side of this, Monique?
So Matt is a very, very firm believer in having baby wipes next to the toilet or on the back of the toilet. So after you use the restroom, within reach, you're supposed to wipe yourself with a baby wipe afterwards.
Biodegradable.
Yeah.
They're flushable.
Flushable.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
So I honestly, of all my years of living, have only been in one home where I saw baby wipes. Nobody else. And I don't think they're necessary.
Oh, they are so necessary.
Man, should we even talk about why they're necessary?
Do you use baby wipes too?
Huh?
Do you use baby wipes?
I have, yes. Yeah.
Have or do now, currently?
It's not a consistent thing. No. It's not something like, oh, I've ran out. Like I'll grab them when I see them. I have some in my car right now. See? You know, so they're they're a great invention.
Wet ones in my purse.
They're a great invention. I think they're a preventative method of self-care.
They are, listen,
they
make sure you're fresh. All right? You can never be too fresh.
If the intentions are clear.
And use them wipes.
About the whole idea behind baby wipes and self-care, make sure you're promoting self-care for that person's personal well-being, not for creating a better mood to have sex.
Facts.
Okay. I know Matt's talking about it, self-care, but I don't. Yeah.
You just listen. It's just good hygienic practices.
He thinks you're dirty if you don't use baby wipes.
You are just using toilet paper. I assure you, Charmin ain't catching everything. It's not.
But this is the way you shower, right?
Every time?
Not every time, but I mean, you're showering every day.
Wait a minute. Every time what? Clean. What's coming out of you? What's happening?
Wait, after you poop.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Bruh.
That's what he's talking about.
We're on a whole different conversation here. Wow. Okay. You know what I'm thinking about? I probably shouldn't say what I'm thinking about.
No.
Well, that's going to be the end of it.
I think they're done with me for today. Thank you guys for listening. We do appreciate your ears.
Thank you so much for listening to the Redemption Podcast. Tales of a Virgin, a Stripper, and a Playboy. You can go ahead and find us on Google Play, Apple Music, Spotify, as well as iHeartRadio.
And YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube and Instagram.
Yes, and also send us an email, redemptionpodcast@gmail.com. Send us your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, anything like that. We definitely welcome your feedback.
Yes, and send us your stories about how God has redeemed you. We want to hear your stories. We want a picture of you. Send it, and we'll get it posted.
And from the bottom of our hearts, from the Redemption Podcast family, if no one's told you they love you today, we love you. Take care and stay blessed.
Stay blessed. Good job. Good show.